Hello everybody, today I have two guests, Birgitte Stjärne and Albert Bengston. Welcome Birgitte and welcome Albert.
Thank you very much. Hi.
Today we will talk about entrepreneurs and my question is, who are entrepreneurs? And Birgitte, you actually wrote a book about entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs. Could you please help us to understand who are entrepreneurs?
Well, entrepreneurs, they are employees. They work in large or middle-sized companies. And you say like about between 5 to up to 10% of all employees have what we call entrepreneurial traits. They are people who are very creative, and you could call them, they are dreamers, and they have the ability to make their dreams come true. And the name entrepreneur, it really comes from, it was Gifford Pinchot in the 1970s, and it's from intra-corporate entrepreneurs. So there is a connection with entrepreneurs and their personalities.
How they are different than entrepreneurs besides being in a corporation? How they are different? Are they similar other than that?
They are very similar in some respects. They have the same type of drives. But on the other hand, they have to adapt to an environment which is very different. Because the entrepreneurs, they don't have the formal power or mandate to do to carry innovations and other projects. They have to work with other people who are the decision makers and who has the budget. An entrepreneur is much more independent in that way. That an entrepreneur owns the idea, but also owns the company and the setup and make the decisions him or herself.
Can decide how to run. Albert, Birgitte just said that 10-15% of employees of corporations are entrepreneurs. Do you agree with that? And can you give us some examples about that? Who are these entrepreneurs and what they do in big corporations?
I think there is a big difference acting as an entrepreneur and having entrepreneurial drives. I think it also depends a lot on the incumbent company, the big company that you work for. Rather, you have the facilities or possibilities, I would say, to act out on your entrepreneurial drives. So I think it's very important that, first of all, companies value that they have these visionary people that are interested about the long strategy for the companies and care for them. And I can see a big difference if you look, for example, in insurance and in banking. We tend to have less of these people, these entrepreneurs, and in companies that are aware that they are in a very changeable environment. We think that we could see that there are more of these individuals, or they are given more space at least to act out and work for a different possibility than the possibilities that the company are giving at this moment, so to speak.
Is it like this? Like they exist in all corporations, as Birgitte said, so I'm coming back to Birgitte. They exist in all corporations, but depending on the industry and depending on the competition, maybe entrepreneurs might have space or oxygen given to them so that they can show their talent. Or, so what do you say?
Well, I agree, because what we are normally dividing entrepreneurs into two different groups. Most of them are in the group of what we call, they are developed by management support. And there are a few percent that are people, the individuals that are driven just by their own intrinsic motivation, and we almost can't stop them. So, and then we call them, they are more like independent entrepreneurs. And it's very hard to stop an independent entrepreneur because that person just do different wherever he or she is. But the other group, the bigger group with this, which we mean is developed by the support of management, that of course how much they can create is depending on the circumstances and the resources they are given.
Can you elaborate on more the circumstances and the resources? Like what type of resources these entrepreneurs should have?
Yes,
I think, yeah.
Yeah, Birgitte, and then we go to Albert.
Yep.
Okay. When it comes to resources, entrepreneurs they have their own type of drives. They have an ability to they create their own vision and have the ability to connect that vision with the company vision. And if they can do that and they have space enough to make change, to challenge the status quo and at the same time get some personal development out of it, then they feel free enough to create, and then they will flourish. But if you don't give them that kind of resources or freedom, then they are not oxygen enough in the company.
Albert?
I think that first of all, it depends on where the project is. What me and Birgitte have seen is that we divide a strategic project like this into 4 different contexts, and depending on where the project is, in what state, that will ask differently from the entrepreneur. Sometimes it's budgets, but sometimes it's just the flexibility to meet with other entrepreneurs, to build your network and strength to solve these complex questions and challenges that the project will run into. So it depends where the project is. That is I think
Did I understand?
the right answer.
Did I understand? So which means it becomes a bit now like it depends on the industry, depends on the corporation, like how they are going to act, and also it depends on the phase of the project. Which phase is it? Because maybe at the initial phase, did I understand correctly? At initial phase, maybe we need more entrepreneurs.
I definitely say that one of the most important part here, why you need entrepreneurs, is because you need to rejuvenate your infrastructure, right? So all the big companies that are built today, they have built up a machine that they are harvesting all their gains from, their assets, right? And all that is so very important. But if that is established 30, 50, 100 years ago, and you do not update that and really bring out what the new technology can do for you, it's gonna be hard to meet the challenge that is on the market. So you need to have people that are really interested in rejuvenating that infrastructure, and that is within the interest of the entrepreneur. So if you are in a company that are challenged by external competitors, and you want to keep your competitive edge, you need to listen to the entrepreneurs and what needs, and it depends on in what technology or what they're gonna rejuvenate with. That depends, of course, on the industry and what the market fit is.
There is also like, do we see entrepreneurs only in corporates, or do we have also them in public sector? And also, like, because we don't train people to be entrepreneurs. We talk a lot about entrepreneurship, we talk about a lot about innovation. So am I wrong? Like, please help me to understand it. Like there is no education training for it.
Well,
I definitely, Birgitte.
Birgitte and then Albert.
yeah. Okay. Well, I think it's most of all it's a personality issue. It's your personality that decides if you really you can't stop change. You can't stop questioning the status quo. You can't stop seeing possibilities around every corner, and you just see how you could do things better. That's a personality issue. But on the other hand, all of us are born very curious and very creative, and it's more like the school system has more like been counter-effective into what when it comes to people being able to use their creativity. And in that respect, you can always find the way back to your creativity. And with the right kind of management, you can inspire people to be more creative. And you can inspire them to come up with new ideas. And you can also inspire them to participate in change work. So in that respect, you can educate, but I don't think it's a school thing. You don't put pupils into school and learn them to be entrepreneurs.
Birgitte, I just want to jump in something related to that one. Like corporations, do they, if there is somebody who questions everything, every decision, every time, do they want this type of people around? They might seem like troublemakers, or
They are often seen like troublemakers, and that's a major problem really, because when you listen to an entrepreneur, you could think that person is just focused on problems, but that's not the truth. The person is focused on solutions, but to be able to solve things, you have to identify the problems first. So you could almost feel that the entrepreneur is a problem seeker. And of course, in a company, you want everybody to be happy. The management is supposed to keep people working very efficiently with things that are ongoing today. The operations that are giving result today is in focus. And here you have people who are just asking a lot of difficult questions all the time. And of course, there can be conflict in this.
yeah. So they are not troublemakers, but they are problem seekers in order to provide solution. Good. Like I am learning from my yes. That's why I need to rephrase and to verify whether I understood correctly. So Albert, what is your take on it? Like to have like do we talk about too much entrepreneurship and innovation, but not that much entrepreneurs, even inside the education system and in the corporations. What do you think about that?
I think the entrepreneurs is like the bees out there. The bees out there, they fly out from the hive, right, and they go to the flowers and they seek up and search for new solutions, and they come back and they have this new ideas and new energy with them to take into the company. What we found, and I think that is very, very interesting in the when we have done our research on the subject, it is that without the entrepreneurs do not have a door into to the incumbent companies, to the big companies that have the real kind of resources and stuff like that. And I think that is very, very interesting. Who's gonna actually use and start paying for the first service? Who is going to be the first customer? It's as you know, there is a lot of skunk works that are being done in early stages, and these are typically run by entrepreneurs that are they don't have the mandate, they don't have the budgets, but they have the will, and they try to find some money, coffee money, and really make projects happen. And I think that is one of the most important parts. If you want to get new technology into the companies to rejuvenate the infrastructure, you need to have these people that are out there and seeking and bringing things in and trying it, because it's not going to be easy. It's never been done before, especially not in that company. So without entrepreneurs, there will be no tests for new technology, or the test beds for new technology will not be in the big companies, and then it will take them longer time, and they will fail to try to get that technology in at a later stage.
It is like bringing fresh blood. But there is also
Yep.
a question that comes to my mind. So they are in big corporation. These entrepreneurs could make their money by just doing the defined task that is given to them. And now we say that they are trying to do something different, extraordinary, even though they don't have enough resources and the budget. So, shall we say, what is wrong with them? What drives them? Is it like how you give lots of salary to them, or what drives them, based on your research that you have done?
Birgitte, do you want to start?
Well, it's not money, but of course there is a need for fairness. They want things to be done in a fair way, and
Can you elaborate
there are
on
no
fairness and money? What do you mean with that one?
no.
Like, can we hire someone? You are entrepreneur, but we buy you pizza and cola. Is it okay?
I didn't really understand your question.
Then I can say, can we just say we are not going to give you enough salary, but you are entrepreneur of the company, you have cola and pizza every day, but no proper salary. So what do you mean about
Okay,
fairness?
well, no, it doesn't work that way. Even if you would love, if it would be that easy. The thing is, what inspires the entrepreneur most is the freedom to do this kind of experiments and develop new things, etc. But he or she does not do that on their own, because they always are dependent on their team. They're always what we call a cross-functional team entrepreneur. And many of those members in that team they also have this entrepreneurial creativity focus. And the resources and the ability and the freedom to create, I think that's the most inspiring for the entrepreneurs. You can't buy them, like paying them beforehand, like, or saying that if you do this, you will get a bonus of that. But of course, if the team together make a very big success, they want to be acknowledged. They want to be rewarded in some way. But most of all, they want to be able to continue with their development. So that's why the management is so important, the attitudes of the management, because they really are the one with the power to encourage entrepreneurship or to discourage it.
Thank you very much, Albert.
Could I connect with that? Yeah, I think it's first of all, I think entrepreneurship. I mean, it's been very immature. With that, I mean that there haven't been a big light on it, and when you see people trying to hire entrepreneurs, it just hasn't been there. So I think that the market will open up for the entrepreneurs, and we will see an increase both in rewards and bonuses and all these kind of systems that could, when it's maturing, because there's going to be a market where you want to pick the really, really skilled ones, and it's because when the companies understand how much value this drives and the change that they can do, I think it will be incredibly important for the companies to have the right entrepreneurs. I think also that if they are mismanaged, so to speak. If it's not fair and it's not what Birgitte said, I think the exit is not to go back and just do the things that you are told to do, like the regular staff. I think the exit will be either to change to a more dynamic company that and seeking themselves into that, or to entrepreneurship, start their own company, or join entrepreneurial driven company that is different. With that said, what is also significant with the entrepreneurs is that they are very loyal. They are very loyal generally to the company they work for, and their business idea, and they really want to save that company, rejuvenating it, so to speak. So I think, but it's going to be really interesting. These 10, 20 years upcoming will be very interesting, and the view and the change of entrepreneurship will be big, I think.
Thank you very much for being my guest for this call, and looking forward to see you again. Thank you, Birgitte.
Thank you.
Thank you, Albert.
Thank you very much.
See you next time.
See you next time.